Tensions are rising rapidly in Eastern Europe, echoing the uncertainty of a bygone era. September 17, 2025. Eastern Europe now faces a military buildup unseen in decades, with convoys and armored vehicles stretching for miles. NATO is urgently reinforcing its eastern flank, responding to what it calls Russian and Belarusian aggression, determined to show unity and resolve. The old Cold War lines are being redrawn, not with concrete walls, but with troops, tanks, and roaring jets, creating a new and tense frontier. Suspicion runs high on all sides. Every maneuver, every deployment is analyzed for hidden intent, fueling a climate of deep mistrust. For Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, the threat feels immediate and real, as soldiers stand watch day and night. Moscow and Minsk's joint military exercises, along with their aggressive rhetoric, have forced NATO to prove its commitment to collective defense, raising the stakes. Russia sees NATO's expansion as a direct threat to its security, while NATO insists it's simply defending the sovereign choices of its member states. This cycle of mistrust and escalation is pushing the region ever closer to a dangerous flashpoint, with each side bracing for the worst. For people in frontline states, this isn't just politics or headlines. It's daily life, lived under the shadow of uncertainty and fear. Military jets roar overhead, armored convoys rumble down highways, and border crossings are now heavily fortified or even closed to civilians. The security once promised by the EU and NATO is now being put to the ultimate test, as alliances are scrutinized and commitments questioned. The alliance's shield is both a source of protection and a constant reminder of the danger that lies just across the border. The question remains, will this massive buildup deter conflict, or could it inadvertently trigger the very crisis everyone fears? Europe's peace, once taken for granted, now feels more fragile than ever, as uncertainty seeps into everyday life. The world watches anxiously, hoping that this new Iron Curtain remains only a metaphor, and not a grim reality for a new generation. Every crisis has a tipping point. For NATO, it came with Russian drones violating Polish airspace. These weren't accidents, they were deliberate provocations, testing NATO's defenses. Polish authorities tracked the drones deep into their territory, each flight a stark warning of how close confrontation is. Warsaw protested, but the incursions continued, using military-grade UAVs capable of surveillance, and more. The message from Moscow: NATO's airspace is vulnerable. The risk of miscalculation soared. A single mistake could spark a wider conflict. Poland considered invoking Article 4, calling for urgent NATO consultations. The alliance could no longer stand by. It had to act. The drone incidents became the catalyst for NATO's military surge. Russia's tactics, drones, cyber attacks, disinformation, were seen as a test of NATO's unity. The response reinforced the eastern flank and sent a clear signal to Moscow. The stage was set for a major military deployment. The skies over Eastern Europe are now a fortress, bristling with the most advanced military technology and constant vigilance. France's Rafale jets, Germany's Eurofighter Typhoons, and Denmark's F-16SE patrol the region, ready to intercept any threat at a moment's notice, their presence a visible deterrent. These multinational forces share radar data and intelligence in real time, creating a seamless, interconnected air defense network that leaves no gap uncovered. NATO's AWACS surveillance planes fly constant missions, detecting threats hundreds of kilometers away, providing early warning and rapid response capabilities. Advanced ground-based missile systems like the Patriot shield key sites in Poland and Romania, forming a protective barrier against aerial attacks. The goal is clear: make NATO's airspace impenetrable, ensuring that no hostile aircraft or missile can slip through undetected. Every incursion, such as the recent Russian drone flights, can now be met instantly, with jets ready to scramble at a moment's notice. The alliance's message is unmistakable. Any challenge in the air will be met with overwhelming force and coordinated action. This is not just deterrence. It's a powerful demonstration of unity, resolve, and operational readiness among NATO allies. The air buildup is a warning. NATO will not be caught off guard, and its forces are prepared for any escalation. The region is under constant watch, with surveillance and monitoring at unprecedented levels, and the stakes have never been higher. The balance of power in the skies has shifted decisively, favoring NATO's technological edge and rapid response. Eastern Europe is now the front line of NATO's aerial shield, standing as a bulwark against any potential aggression from the east. Poland, at the center of the storm, has mobilized thousands of troops to its eastern border. New forward bases and closed border crossings with Belarus mark a dramatic shift. The closures disrupt trade and daily life, but Warsaw calls them essential to counter hybrid threats, like migrant flows engineered by Minsk. Poland invoked Article 4, putting its crisis at the top of NATO's agenda. The alliance responded with solidarity and reinforcements. Military convoys and low-flying jets are now part of daily life in eastern Poland. Locals feel both reassured and anxious, protected, yet living on the front line. The government tries to maintain normalcy, but the region has been transformed. The border is now a symbol of both defense and uncertainty. Germany has made a historic shift, permanently stationing a combat brigade in Lithuania. 5,000 soldiers, tanks, and artillery are now integrated into Baltic defense plans. This move closes a critical vulnerability, ensuring NATO forces are ready to respond instantly. Germany also reinforces air and naval operations in Romania and the Baltic Sea. The commitment is welcomed by Eastern allies, proving Germany's reliability. The sight of German tanks in Lithuania is a powerful symbol of unity and deterrence. NATO's eastern flank is now more secure than ever. The alliance's message: any attack on the Baltics means instant conflict with a major power. Russia and Belarus answer NATO's buildup with massive joint exercises near Poland and Lithuania. These drills, involving tens of thousands of troops, are seen by NATO as rehearsals for conflict, not defense. The Suwałki Gap, a narrow corridor linking Poland and Lithuania, becomes a focal point. Its loss would isolate the Baltics. Russia moves nuclear-capable Iskander missiles into Kaliningrad, raising the stakes. The message: Russia can threaten European capitals at will. State media in Moscow and Minsk frame NATO as the aggressor, fueling an information war. Each side accuses the other of provocation, making diplomacy harder. The region is caught in a dangerous cycle of escalation, military and informational. The risk of miscalculation grows with every maneuver. As deployments surge across Eastern Europe, leaders issue stark warnings, their voices echoing through tense capitals and borderlands. Polish President Duda declares, "We will not stand by while our sovereignty is violated. Our nation's security is not negotiable, and we are prepared to defend our people." He reminds the world, an attack on Poland is an attack on NATO. The alliance's collective defense is not just a promise, but a warning. The message from Warsaw is clear: resolve and readiness to defend every inch, no matter the cost. In Washington, President Biden reaffirms Article 5. We will defend every inch of NATO territory. Our commitment is ironclad, unwavering, and enduring. U.S. troops bolster the eastern flank, not to start a war, but to prevent one, sending a message of deterrence and solidarity. The warning to Moscow is unmistakable. Don't test the alliance or risk a united response. NATO Secretary General Stoltenberg stresses, our actions are defensive, not aggressive. We are here to protect, not provoke. We seek deterrence, not provocation. The alliance's posture is measured, but firm. The alliance stands united, open to dialogue but negotiating from strength, determined to avoid missteps while showing resolve. These statements are meant to deter aggression and eliminate ambiguity, making intentions unmistakable to all. But high-stakes rhetoric carries risks. Words can be misread, and backing down becomes harder as tensions escalate. The war of words is as critical as the movement of troops, shaping perceptions and influencing decisions on both sides. Leaders hope to shape Moscow's calculations, making the cost of aggression clear and unmistakable. The world watches for any sign of miscalculation, aware that a single error could spark a wider conflict. The crisis is as much about perception as reality, with uncertainty fueling anxiety on all sides. The hope, unity, and clarity will keep the peace, and that dialogue can prevail over confrontation. But the brink is closer than ever, and the world holds its breath as leaders navigate this dangerous moment. Behind the headlines, ordinary people live with the consequences. Soldiers, armored vehicles, and jets are now part of daily life along NATO's eastern edge. Gratitude for security mixes with anxiety about the future. Local economies suffer from closed borders and military disruptions. NATO's buildup aims to deter war, but the risk of miscalculation is ever present. A single mistake, a nervous soldier, a radar blip could trigger disaster. Communication lines exist, but tension runs high. For millions, peace feels fragile. They live on the edge of uncertainty, the hope that strength will preserve peace and diplomacy will prevail. The world waits, hoping the shield holds and the weapons stay silent.